Hey, what's up followers? Dave here from CNC3D. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the awesome new features that are due for release in our CNC3D Commander software and the new firmware update that's coming out for our Nighthawk CNC controller. So look, there's been a feature that's been heavily requested for a while now, and that is the ability for you to handle tool changes. So for those of you that choose to have multiple tools within one file, you've always had to split them up in order for you to be able to run them on the SD card of the Nighthawk. Now, it was about 4 or 5 versions ago of the Commander software that you could actually load a job here and it would manually handle tool changes for you. What we've actually done now is we've gone through and we've added it onto the SD card jobs as well. So for those of you that don't know, when you have a job on the SD card of Nighthawk, the Nighthawk is essentially running the entire job for you, and Commander is just looking in at that job just to see what it's actually doing. So it's basically providing us feedback like the machine and the job coordinates and basically where it's currently at. So other than that, the Nighthawk's doing everything. So it's been a bit challenging for us to do this, but if we go into the About box here, so the changes that will have this awesome new feature is from build 3.05 or later. So at the moment, the current production build is 3.04. So when you do get an update for Commander next time, you will be able to get this awesome new feature straight away, as long as you have a Nighthawk controller. That is critical. We do constantly innovate our Nighthawk CNC controller firmware. We kind of don't sort of just have like static firmware. It's always being developed and improved on. So there may be certain features that some of you with an X Pro V5 will not be able to simply access within Commander, and that's simply because the feature does not exist. So, you know, if you want these features, then maybe consider upgrading to a Nighthawk, and, you know, we'll continue to keep on innovating new stuff anyway. So wait for build 3.05 there. Now, let's just jump straight in and take a look. So we've got this job here. This is literally just a test job that I've made on the bench here. The Nighthawk we're connected to is on the bench as well. So if we select the job in the list here, let's just go and take a look at it. As you can see, it's basically just a circle is essentially what we're doing. And if we go in and look at the setup and info, you'll notice there's tool info in here, which has actually been pulled from the job. So basically what we've done is with this next release, we're also in our post processors. So for Vectric and for Fusion 360, we will be adding this tool information on the export of your job, so that when you load it into Commander, you can very easily tell the specific T numbers and also the tool info data of that specific cutter. So we'll show you why this is a handy thing very shortly. Let's just go ahead and run this job. So I'm just going to zero my job coordinates out here. I'm just going to hit 6 shape test with tools and hit run job. Now, because this is on our test bench, some of these warnings like this Z-axis issue is not a problem. So let's just run this job anyway. So very shortly, we are actually going to go through and hit a tool change command, and we'll show you what options you now have. So it's detected that there's a T2 is the tool. It tells you the tool information here, and then gives you a bit of a warning about just waiting for it to stop. But on SD, this isn't really a problem. And so your options now is you can choose to ignore and continue. So this will basically just continue the job. So we'll let that just go ahead, and we'll wait until we hit the next tool change command. So I've just basically added these into this file just so I had something to test with here, but this obviously will apply to real world jobs as well. So now it's popped up the T3 command there. So let's go and have a look at some of our actions. So the options are a manual tool change, or you can choose from any of your predefined macros that you have in the macros tab of Commander. So basically, if you did have, say, for example, a tool changing rack, and you had a sequence of commands for you to be able to change that tool, you could create a macro to do that for, say, T1, T2, T3, whatever you wanted to do, and just simply and easily call it out of here. But we'll just select the manual tool change option for now and go change tool. And so what you will notice is the run SD job button is now flashing. And the reason for that is how you will tell it to resume. But in the meantime, because we're doing a manual tool change, we can literally jog the Y-axis, the X-axis, the Z-axis, or we could, for example, very commonly go to 0xy. Normally you would raise your Z up and out of the way of the job first and then go to 0xy. And then basically you could run a probing routine if you wanted to. So anything out of these will work for you. And when you're ready to go and you've got your new tool in there, you can choose obviously to turn your spindle back on if you wish. And then you can just hit resume SD job. So it says, are you sure that you're ready to resume? Let's just say yes there. And it will go ahead and go to the next point. Now, there is 5 tools in this job just for the purposes of this video and of course for my testing as well. So we'll wait until it hits the next tool change command. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. And there it is. So now let's just choose one of these random macros. So I actually don't know what these are. These are some Dave script macros that I've tested with. So let's go to new test macro there and just go change tool. So it's asking me to choose a number. So this is something I've obviously done testing the dialogues. And it's come back with this sequence of numbers here. So let's actually have a look. So I'm in the macros tab there. So that was new test macro. So yep, okay, so I just created a variable in there. But look, if you guys do want to make some powerful macros, click on the scripting help button here, and it will open up the document for you to learn how to do the Dave script macros. I've tried to make this programming language as powerful as I can for you, yet keep it really, really simple for those of you that aren't familiar with a lot of coding and scripting. So we've just gone ahead and it's run this macro. We can literally just hit resume SD job now. Are you sure you're ready to resume? Yes, we are. And it will just go ahead and continue the job until completion. So that is basically one of the new features that's coming out in the next Nighthawk release. Some of the other cool features, just while we're here quickly, is you'll notice there's a folder view button here. So we're still in the middle of this job. So let's just go here and ignore and continue. I might just de-stop that job for now. So you can click on folder view and you can actually see that we have jobs sorted here. And so basically you can view everything and organize your jobs into different categories, as opposed to the traditional file view that we had. Now you will notice there's also a new folder option on the side here. You can also, if you hold the control key, select multiple of these. If we go into here, we can select multiple files as well and delete them as well. You can also now choose to upload multiple files out of a folder, which should be nice and simple for you, which has also been requested. So we hope that this is a really handy way for you to be able to organize and manage your jobs. From a few of you that we've spoken to, some people have, well over 200 or 300 jobs in this list. And even though you can sort by file name and you can sort by size, it can be a little bit cumbersome. So at least now there is a file management system coming. Please note that in order to use this feature, you will need to upgrade to the 2.4 firmware, which you will also get once you get to build 305 in Commander. It will automatically prompt you to do a firmware update. So please, for those of you with a Nighthawk, go ahead and do that. But that's really easy. You literally just hit update firmware and away it'll go. So hopefully this video has been helpful for all of you about the new features coming out soon, but more importantly as well, the awesome feature of being able to actually handle tools in the one file. So thank you guys for all your support over the years. It really helps me try to make awesome things for all of you. So thank you very much for that. Have a great day.